Hello YouTube, it is November 19th, 2019, and I'm here to give an update on Colin Kaepernick. I think it's been well over a year since I did my thoughts on him, and my thoughts have completely changed in a 180 since then. I went from being a proud supporter to being okay to now being like but not to fully get on him in this video, because unlike what everybody else has been going off on, I'm here to clear up some darn gone mess. Because with this football scandal, and I'm not a football girl, so I might get the terminology wrong, but I peeped the motherfucking bullshit that was going on with them setting up Colin Kaepernick. Now, Colin Kaepernick still not in the right his damn self, but I do want to clear up a false narrative that I've actually a couple of false narratives that I've been hearing about this. And y'all gonna have to excuse this darn gone bonding in the darn gone blanket today. It's motherfucking 40 something degrees in North Carolina. Shoot, first time in years we done finally got some cold in November. Usually be about motherfucking 70, 80 damn degrees. Now it's finally fall for once. But, and we didn't get no storm this year. So shout out to that to North Carolina. Honey, y'all know we got storms back to back. Shoot. And darn gone Hurricane Matthew darn gone really messed us up. Florence and all. So yeah, shout out to those storms this year. No power went out like that. And the fact that, it's finally fall. But, and my heat is not working. I mean, it's working, but, we got one vent in here. But back to Colin Kaepernick. So, people got it confused with Colin Kaepernick with this Saturday game. So, what was put out there was that Colin Kaepernick scheduled the tryouts to be on Saturday, which did not make any sense because of the fact that most NFL coaches, and we don't have to be sports enthusiasts to know this. The games are on Sunday, so obviously they're going to be traveling and prepping for Saturday. So who in their right mind would choose the date for Saturday? People thought it was Colin Kaepernick, but come to find out, it wasn't Colin Kaepernick that chose the date at all. It was the NFL that reached out to Colin Kaepernick and set up the date. See, now it was brought to us as if he darn gone reached out to them and set up the darn gone date. But come to find out, they reached out to him 9 months after not reaching out to him or nothing, and said, hey, we got a darn gone date for you. They sprung it on him short notice. So I'm noticing that is not being put out there in the media. But shout out to the Roland Martin show for really breaking it all down. So I'll leave his link down below, and he breaks it down, even down to the hierarchy. I did not know the quarterback position was such a prestigious position, that it is the closest in alignment to the coaches and managers. I ain't know all that, but he'll break that down better off than what I can. But I'm going to stick to the fact that of what I can break down. They reached out to him first. What happened was they purposely put it on a Saturday where they knew very few coaches was going to come out there. They said all the teams was going to come out there. They said only 18 managed to make it out there out of 32. And and then it got even more convoluted, because out of those 18 people, I don't think none of the official people was there that actually makes the actual final hiring decisions. So that's the number one thing. Nobody that could officially, hire him if they wanted to, was even at the darn main stadium. So people mad that he changed the stadium up last minute. But even if he would have played at the Falcon Stadium, there was nobody there that was in the position to even hire Colin Kaepernick. So that's the first bullshit coming through the door. The second thing, like I said, they darn gonna sprung this up on him for last minute. They didn't want the media in there, no type of recording. They didn't want any of his defensive backers or whatever in there for the game. They was gonna have all their people in there, no recording, no evidence, and sign a liability waiver that is above and beyond the standard liability waiver for football players. Yeah, that's a lot. So let's break that on down. Once again, so they contact him out the blue to come there, and he has to play with their players in this darn gone practice and assign a liability waiver that prevents them from being liable for any damages. So what could have happened is they could have had one of his players tackle him and injure him on purpose without no evidence around, because it was no media. The NFL said it was going to be absolutely no video evidence. So it would have been a matter of he say, she say, or he say in this case. So a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate up against this one man. You send it in your own people, and if they tackle him and mess him up, there's nobody that can really, show that this was done maliciously. So I see the bullshit with that. I don't know why nobody else can't at this point, now that the evidence has been brought to light. So now we see why the other location was had to happen. And then it comes to find out that Colin Kaepernick didn't even have anything to do with the location. It was they said it was a ground roots movement from the local community, because they peeped the bullshit as well. So within a matter of 15 hours, outside of Colin Kaepernick's control, they set up a secondary location just in case, which Colin Kaepernick decided to take them up on the offer. It wasn't even Colin Kaepernick's original idea. So that's the fifth thing that we done learned about with this darn scandal with Colin Kaepernick. People are putting it out there like he decided to darn change up the thing last minute, and he's not serious about getting back in the game. Now, I do believe that there's some, validity to that to a certain extent. But nonetheless, on the NFL's part, there was some major bullshit going on. Because why would you not even allow his personal people that he's been working with practice with him? Why do you need your people? And then you're going to have him sign a liability waiver that prevents him from, suing in any type of regard. So if somebody was to come out the blue, let me paint a picture for you. Let's say if somebody random came out the blue and decided to hit Colin Kaepernick with a baseball bat on behalf of darn NFL, due to how ironclad that they said that darn contract was, he would not have been able to sue under any type of circumstances, even under something as wild as that. Somebody could have ran up on him and punched him, and he wouldn't have been able to sue. That's how darn ironclad the NFL's contract was, which they said was above and beyond a standard contract. So they was on some bullshit with that. So I don't see the problem with him changing up the venue. Now my thing is this though. It is, but what? How can I say it? It does appear wrong because it's last minute, but nobody's not paying attention that what the NFL did to Colin Kaepernick was last minute. And then it comes to find out that next Saturday, which is this Saturday coming up, is actually a work day for the NFL. So if you was going to do it on a Saturday, why not do it on a Saturday where all the teams could actually come out and darn gonna see them? That was something that Colin Kaepernick camp actually proposed. So instead of this Saturday where most of the teams are traveling, you could have darn schedule it for next Saturday. And why we couldn't have got Monday or Tuesday, which they said is the normal date that people actually do trainings in the first place. So everybody's confused that why is the NFL all of a sudden out the darn blue making this darn special thing just solely for Kaepernick, and then you're going to do it on the Saturday where y'all busy, but y'all could have easily waited till next Saturday where y'all actually off. Y'all didn't want nobody there. Y'all wanted him to sign an ironclad contract that's so ironclad that somebody could have darn went out there and pistol slapped him, and he wouldn't have been able to darn sue. And then we supposed to take the NFL serious that he was that he had a chance of getting back in. See, this the bullshit the NFL was on. And then people then try to throw Jay-Z under the bus. Now, Jay-Z, I already condemned him on even trying to join in on the good old boys club and thinking you can change up some darn corruption from the inside. What you going to change up with somebody old as the darn good old boys club? All them motherfucking darn owners are 60 years old and older? An old dog don't change they darn tricks at this day and age. It's like I don't see what you going in there to change at this point. Because the darn whole the whole NFL is so corrupt that you would just do better just coming out with your own shit at this point. And I know some people are with their defeatist attitude talking about, oh no, that's not viable and all this. People ain't gonna take no motherfucking pay cut. Yeah, the current people in there, they ain't. But honey, they ain't the only ones that can throw a ball. We can go get some new people that was denied the opportunity to join the NFL. They accept that darn gone $50,000, $100,000 instead of the $20-30 million. They will accept it. And then people is not peeking that the advertisers go where the darn gone talent is. So I don't understand this motherfucker bullshit as if it's impossible to come out with a darn gone alternative to the darn gone National Football motherfucker League when it's not the NFL that ultimately can decide the game. It's the actual advertisers. And that's where this bullshit really comes in with Colin Kaepernick. It's actually stepped beyond the racism at this. I mean, it still got racism involved. But even the, let's say, even the non-racist coaches, which I don't think it's hardly any that's non-racist, but, you know, that's my opinion. But let's say if there were some that was non-racist, they couldn't even pick them up if they wanted to. Because regardless of the fact that Colin Kaepernick can outdo some of their darn gone lead quarterbacks, the advertisers run this at the end of the day. That's what nobody's not realizing. And I would go as far as to say, if Colin Kaepernick was fully white and he darn gone was on some martyr shit in solidarity with black people, he would still be in the same predicament. So that's why I say it's not fully racial. It's racially motivated, but it's not directly racist, if that makes sense. Because I believe that it has a racial undertone, but it doesn't have a racial overtone. Like, they're not checking him for being black. Because I believe that if he was fully white and he was on some Rachel Dawson type shit, they would treat him just the same. He definitely will. So this is not about his skin color. This is not about his hair. So I don't know why he's going as far as, you know, comparing himself to Kunta Kinte. And it's like, no, now granted that they had that contract set up where somebody could have chopped your foot off down at the football field and you wouldn't have been able to sue for that as well. But still, you was not in the darn gone Kunta Kinte situation. Now, it is somewhat similar to Muhammad Ali to a certain extent. And darn gone, they had Muhammad Ali waiting 27 years to get back in the motherfucking thing. Colin Kaepernick look like you gonna be waiting 27 years at the rate that this shit is going. But my thing is this: I still am with the darn gone notion he would do far better off either going over to Africa and darn gone help facilitating there, because there is plenty of black darn gone sports talent over in Africa, and you can bring the mark, and you can, you know, get some marketers and stuff and get your own team over there in the country, you know, in one of the countries of Africa, and darn gone not have to worry about the good old boys club and get you a few $1 million off of that. Now granted, you ain't gonna be making maybe $50 or $100 million, but how much money do you realistically need? It's like, over in Africa, you can easily get something set up. You already got the money. You don't settle for what, between $1 to $10 million. You done got the Nike deal. Hell, you done more successful outside the Super Bowl than people with similar stats than you have by being in the Super Bowl. So that's why people really don't feel as sorry for Colin, because it's like, well, damn. Yeah, he wants to play and all, but as far as monetary wise, he has actually done more financially successful for himself outside of being in the darn on NFL than being in the NFL, and it will benefit him more financially to be off the field and set up his own shit and be a boss, but he still wants to be a worker. See, that's where it gets more convoluted. He still wants to be a worker and I think he's in his 30s now. He ain't getting no younger. They say the average football player around him only lasts about 5-7 years at best. So it's about time for you to transition to boss mode, but you still want to be worker mode. Now, you better than a lot of these doggone people that they've been hiring over you, But why would you even want to subject to yourself to the good old boys club if you know the bullshit that they own, where you had that darn gonna end up having a settlement? And that's another thing that fucked you up. You took that darn gonna settlement when you didn't even need the motherfucking money. Like, Colin Kaepernick was not hurting for money for him to take the damn settlement. That's what really messed him up, where he can't speak on certain shit. He having Sean King and other people speak for him. Because, you know, a darn gonna made your own self silent. Now people darn gonna calling Jay-Z, emphasizing him being jigaboo for darn gonna selling you out, as opposed to just going into the good old boys club. Like, we need to be calling Jay-Z out for thinking that he's gonna be able to do anything other than be self-sufficient for his own self. Because Jay-Z is very much of a capitalist. Him being up in there is just a money grab for him and his darn gone beautiful family. It ain't no win for black people. The darn gone good old boys club is still going to be the damn same. They can go, because even on the music front, they got two and you know, I love me some darn gone Shakira, dun, 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 dun. But then I'm hearing that they done fucked up the Latinas. In Florida, Jay-Z, we thinking, whoa, hell, we about to really get Trina Miss 305 down to the Super Bowl. We about to get some of that, honey. Y'all get darn on Shakira and J-Lo, and neither one of them is for Florida. How about? I mean, granted, you don't have to be from the state of that you performing in the Super Bowl, but it would be nice to actually have some Floridian talent down near Florida, considering I don't think a Floridian artist has ever been put on at the Super Bowl. I haven't heard of Floridian artists at the Super Bowl. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that would have been nice. But still, we have two top tier legendary Hispanics, and you do them wrong by still making the Super Bowl 12 to 14 minutes. How in the hell you going to have both of them, which can carry a 10-12 minute set on their own each, and limit them to dark? And so that's a slap in their face. You cannibalize both the talent. J-Lo talking about 12, 14 motherfucking minutes. What the fuck you got? Bitch, I don't even think we can squeeze your shit into darn on 12 minutes, really, with all the hits that she got. But, and then you gonna slide in J-Lo too. That was a real disrespect to the darn on Latino community. Going to squeeze all that talent into darn on. But you know that I've already expressed my frustration with that. But back to Colin Kaepernick. Now I'm getting back on subject. Like I said, he's a worker. I mean, he's a workers that needs to transition to boss. He's still trying to be on the worker shit, where he really needs to darn on be going overseas, over to Africa, create a darn on league, and then won't even have to worry about them trying to fuck it up. Because the thing is, see if he tried to create it in America, because at first I thought about go ahead and create it in America, but then I thought about the currency, I thought about the impact that the NFL have. That even though the talent we can darn on create it in America, it would be a lot harder, because a lot of people is not going to be willing to darn on decrease that pay, even though they have enough money where they can still live off of. Like he won't get enough people out of the NFL to darn on boost this up, and it's not enough current people that he could recruit. As far as, because in America you got to have some name, you have to have enough name recognition out the gate. So you would have to at least recruit several people out the NFL. Versus if you go to Africa, you won't have to worry about that. You can start strictly from scratch. Versus trying to create something completely brand new, and you having this $1 billion conglomerate trying to darn gonna do everything to sabotage you. Because you see what they did to old dude with the Big Ballers League. What's his darn gone name? I ain't talked about his ass in so long. LeVar Ball, that's his name. He tried to come out with his own college team where he was going to pay them for their likeness and shit. Notice darn on how quick the NBA, the college leagues and stuff, unban that darn on likeness shit. Now basketball players are able to own their likeness and stuff, and they able to get the little scholarships and stuff. But they wouldn't known that until darn on LeVar Ball came out with the Big Baller League. You see how quick they shut darn on LeVar Ball down? I imagine they try to do the same thing to darn on Colin Kaepernick. That's why I say it would behoove him to just go ahead and go to the motherland and do it strictly from scratch from there. That's my darn on idea. Go to the motherland. You can get the advertisers to come over there as well, and then the money will go a lot further. Now, I think they're in the midst, depending on where you at, because West Africa is about to shake the fuck out of France, right? France, right about now, baby. Honey, they darn gonna talk about permanently ending the darn gone Congolese. I mean the franc, which is the currency in all the West African countries. I don't know what they back it. I don't know what the exchange rate is going to be with the U.S., but I would imagine that it would still be significantly less than America. So the American corporations that you can bring over to Africa would go a lot further. That darn gone, you could get away with paying them $50,000 to $100,000 each, and that shit will darn gone stretch out to them like it's darn gone $20-30 million, just based off of the economies and the stuff in Africa. And then they can expand on the economy there, and then get the water system. I mean, granted, some areas in Africa is already established, but I would say go to a mid-range of Africa. That way you don't get too don't go to Nigeria. What? Let me stop, because I know y'all going to say, damn, why now you going to stop picking on Nigeria. Because I just did I did an update to my ancestry. Y'all haven't seen it yet. That's going to be up after this, even though I recorded it like sometime last week. I done found out I done got more Nigerian DNA than me out all the blue. And I stay darn gonna throw it. Every time I bring up Nigeria, it's never something good, honey. I know my Nigerian people say, bitch, we ain't gonna claim your ass. I still don't think I'm Nigerian. I don't see the Nigerian in me. I still see the Congo. I see the Bantu. But they now done took my Ghana away from me. And they're gonna gave me all this Nigerian DNA. I don't see nail bit of Nigerian in me. My Nigerian people, y'all tell me if y'all see some Nigerian in this. I don't. And like I said, I see the motherfucking Congo, honey. But that's neither here nor there. Can he do it in Nigeria? I don't know. See, my thing is, though, with Nigeria being so established, how would that work? Because I think Nigeria's currency don't go as far. Let me see what the Nigerian currency is. I don't know. Let me see before I can get to talking shit. What is the Nigerian currency? Huh? I didn't ask for a conversion. The Nigerian naira, and they said that one Nigerian naira equals $0.0028. Oh well, shit, I guess it would go far in Nigeria, but oh well, take your ass down to South Africa. I'm sorry, see, Nigeria, I was talking darn on shit, darn on trying to leave y'all out on some opportunity, and it might be some money for y'all to go build up, but they already established. That's my point. So I wasn't trying to throw shade. It's just I want another country to really be put on as well. It's like, when I think of Nigeria, I don't think of the stereotype of shithole country. Honey, Nigeria, honey, they got darn on towers and shit out there looking like New York City. New York City, New York City, New York City, California, San Francisco. You would think your ass is in San Francisco looking at Nigeria, honey. But let me see what this now I'm curious to see how many dollars. See, it won't let me darn gonna switch it around. I want to see how much is $50,000 in Nigerian currency. How much is $50,000 in Nigerian currency? God damn it, does y'all do that as well when you talking to Google and then it shuts off in the midst of you talking? How much money is $50,000 in Nigerian currency? $50,000 equals 18,075,000 Nigerian nairas. Ooh, 18 million. Now, granted, I know 18 million may not be the same as 18 million here, but I would imagine that would still go quite far. Let me see the average living expenses in Nigeria. Now I'm really curious. How much money does it take for the average American to live in Nigeria? Oh shoot, it's not. Let me see, 297,157 yen, but it doesn't convert it back to dollars though. I would imagine that it would be freaking low. So, like I said, it's a lot of darn on money. I don't got time to be converting this Nigerian. My Nigerians, y'all convert that down to me. It's $50,000 American money per year. A lot of money in Nigeria. I would imagine so. It said 18 million naira. I would imagine that would be a whole lot of naira in darn on Nigeria. That would go quite far. That can get you some man, so you can live the lifestyle, especially Nigeria having the infrastructure and stuff to build that. Now it'd be nice, would be nice to do that in a developing country as well, to get them put on. But if you want to go to somewhere already established, you can go to Nigeria. I imagine Ghana the same way. They'll welcome a football team, I imagine. Senegal, Mali, Congo. Honey, Congo definitely need it. Honey. Congo is really going through it. And Congo, you can set up a darn whole operation over there in but you know, I ain't gonna give you all this advice for free, honey. I'm sick and tired of giving all this market advice for free. Monique darn still acting like she ain't seen my darn video and stuff. Honey, I seen the, okay, not Monique, but you know what, Colin Kaepernick. Now Colin might not actually see my video. Somebody forward this to him, maybe somehow he get it across. But my thing is this: he needs to go across the water. He needs to just go ahead and go across the water and call it a day with the NFL. You can still play the game without having to be part of the game, of the good old boys club. Like, why put yourself through torture? And especially with the way that they try to set you up. They already showed you that they was trying to fuck you up on the low, allegedly. I ain't trying to have the NFL sue my ass, honey. But the fact that they wanted him to sign a waiver of that extent and then schedule this on a Saturday, gave this notice to you last minute, and then they pissed off that you darn did the same thing to them, and you wasn't even directly involved with the darn shit though. That's my darn thing. They trying to phrase it as if you darn set up the high school meeting last minute. It was outside of Colin Kaepernick's hands. But the fact that they can do the same thing, even worse, and not get called out on it. And then y'all bring Jay-Z into this shit. And he and his whole Rock Nation team done came out and said Jay-Z has not made any comments. But y'all are still out here in the news claiming that Jay-Z done did some shit behind the scenes and set this up. I highly doubt that Jay-Z set this up. I mean, for what reason? What reason would Jay-Z set this up on a Saturday if he was truly trying to help Colin Kaepernick? I don't think he did. If he did, he made mention of it, and then the NFL took it further, and then they tried to shift it to their own narrative. And Jay-Z has been thrown in as darn the front, because they always got to push the black man. That's what I think Jay-Z's up in there as. Jay-Z at his capitalism, they just throw him in situations like this to take the brunt of the blame, the brunt of the blame. So, because it's like, out of these darn 32 team owners, we gonna throw it on the darn person who's just the liaison of darn marketing affairs for the darn NFL. Jay-Z don't make no motherfucking hiring decisions. Jay-Z just is there to make suggestions and be the darn public spokesperson. So we gonna throw him under, we gonna make this seem like this is all his motherfucking fault. And then his team done came out and confirmed that Jay-Z ain't in said shit. And we still darn trying to blame Jay-Z. Lord, y'all need to have 7 damn seats. Had to get up and blow my nose real quick, y'all. But what are y'all thoughts on this shit? Like I said, it's fucked up all the way around. I don't feel too bad for Colin Kaepernick, because like I said, you really fucked your own self up when you signed that non-disclosure. I don't know why he signed a non-disclosure. It's not like he was going to the Beyonce party. Now, You wanna fuck with me, you better sign a non-disclosure. Honey, this ain't darn going with, This is not what Beyonce meant when she said you trying to fuck with me, sign a non-disclosure. That did not mean darn gonna sign it for the good old boys club at this expense. If you still want to be on this martyr shit, you should have said no and left it. You should have darn gone left it. You should have darn gone took it to court, and it would have been what the fuck it would have been. Whether you would have lost or lost or lose, same thing. Lose, lost, whatever. You would have darn gone still had the right to darn gone say what you want to. But you darn gone put the gag on your own damn self. And now you still trying to it's Stockholm Syndrome. Just greed. Because why is you trying to get in this motherfucking league for? As if there's not alternatives. And like I said, it's not like he's a 19, 20-year-old who did not get a chance to get no money. Now, it'd be something different if this was like a 19, 20-year-old kid and he was only able to get $50,000 to $100,000, and then they done kicked him on out and he wasn't able to build up nothing, wasn't really able to get a name for himself or anything. But bitch, you done got more names than some people who darn gone retired from the motherfucking league. You done got a Muhammad Ali award, Beyonce granting you awards and shit. You got motherfuckers still buying your merchandise faster than people in the league. You done signed on by Nike. And I'm trying to figure out how that works considering they connection to the league. So you still benefiting from no endorsements outside of shit. So just off of your likeness, you could have propelled this moment to go to the Africa and get some darn gone good black entrepreneurs, some marketers such as myself, and build your own shit in a whole different country where you can still stream it here. Then sign up with a partnership deal with Hulu, Netflix. You can do multiple ones at this time, because with something like a sports, you're not limited to just one station. You can darn gonna have them. You can sign a contract. You can have Comcast, Spectrum, Hulu, Netflix, Sling TV. I think the other one's called Voodoo or something along that. Not Voodoo. I'll put a spell on you. But Voodoo, the streaming. That's what it says on my darn gone Roku, honey. VUDU. I ain't a kid. So you got Sling, Voodoo, Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube TV. You could have set up multi-contract deals with all of them. Stream the shit from Africa. Have it in the multiple languages. Have it in the La Francais, and then also English. Translate it to the Anglais. And be making money from all the damn markets. But you didn't want to do that. You still trying to... I believe you suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. Because it don't make any damn sense. You so desperate to get them darn gone couple $1 million that you can't see the forest beyond the trees, as my grandma would say. You ain't seeing the forest beyond the damn trees. You could darn gone go and get your own shit and still play. You can still, be an owner and then be a coach and still get the feel of being in the football if you have a passion for running the ball that much and won't have to subject yourself to torture. With all the propensity to, having brain injuries and they done took Cam Newton now and it look like they trying to replace him on the damn low with some darn on white boy that Kaepernick could easily replace. But bitch, y'all better darn gonna wait on Cam now. Y'all don't do Cam like that, bitch. Don't do Cam like that. But if they do Cam, jump on this darn gone opportunity that I'm trying to promote with Kaepernick now. Take y'all ass over to Africa. Stop slaving yourselves for this $1 million. And then these motherfucking 32 darn gone white men is getting darn gone billions off of y'all motherfucking likeness. Over 70% of the darn gone team of the NFL black, but nobody can't darn gone get themselves in there. Even if they got the money, you got all these darn gone rules and shit rigged up where it's nearly impossible for somebody to get up in that damn bitch. And then you still got to walk on eggshells. It still have to be a darn gone group meeting on shit even when you get into the darn gone shit as a black person. When you could darn gone did like LeVar Ball, but be smarter. Go over to an area where it's dominantly your darn gone people and set up your darn gone shit, so you won't have to worry about no darn gone racism. You won't have to worry about no darn gone backbiting. You don't have to worry about them trying to talk, throw monkeys in the wrench behind the scenes. Because if you do it here, that's what they're going to do. They have the power where they can easily whisper in Comcast ear and darn gonna several other people and shut your shit down. They can darn gonna blackball you, darn gonna whisper to Wells Fargo and stuff, block you out of darn gonna bank deals. But you go over there to Africa, where that money's tied up with France, and darn gonna strike some deals with their banks and shit. You can get your darn gonna funding, because like I said, I don't expect for you to have all the money. Now you got a couple $1 million where you can live comfortably, but to build this shit up, like I said, get a group of team members with you. Now Jay-Z, you done already done, your capitalist ass done got yourself sucked in with the good old boys club, so you out. P Diddy, you in. You ain't over there in the sucking place. You take your ass over to the darn gone motherland on with Kaepernick. Get a couple other people up in there. So you got P Diddy. You get you a few other people. Get some marketers such as myself. Get some PR spokespersons. And both Africa, put them on to a job. Like I said, $25,000-$50,000 go real far down in the motherland, baby. They'll do it for $25,000-$50,000. Go from modest housing to a good old mansion and generational wealth. $1 million to them is generational wealth over there. And they're gonna create something that's rival. And you don't even have to worry about the NFL being too upset, because they will still have the American economy. And they have, now of course they might still be building and try to come over there, but at least you will have some darn gone, some backing over there. Like they just can't as easily go over there and shut your shit down. Because as black Americans, we can darn gonna put our fellow Africans on to the bullshit that we go through over here. So when they try to come over there to take the darn gone new NFL that we done made up on the continent, now the African brothers and sisters have been put on to their bullshit. So when they try to come up on there and try to throw some monkeys in the ridge, our African brothers and sisters are now on guard. That's why I said we need to go on head to the motherland. You don't have to denounce no darn gone shit. You can still have your American citizenship. I ain't saying you even have to live over there. Hell, football is only 6 months throughout the damn year. You be over there half of the time and then come back over here and make your money. You would make millions of dollars. Now you ain't gonna make billions, but bitch, in the position you trying to get back in with the NFL, you wasn't gonna be doing that no damn way. So why not just take yourself over to the motherland and make the same amount of money that you would have been making in the league without having to be subject yourself to any torture? Don't have to worry about no more PTSD and, no brain injuries, none of that motherfucking shit. You can also, and then y'all got all the stones and precious metals and shit, so y'all can formulate the darn mask and shit to be even more resistant than the ones we have here. Even down to the construction of the shit, you can have African workers, and then that's employing jobs because the uniforms, honey, I'm not really cooking up some shit now. Once again, Kaepernick, if somebody need to forward this to darn Kaepernick. And I want my coins. Now, if you try to do this without me now, bitch, I'm going to be on the news calling you out. I'm going to be worse than Flame Monroe on Monique's ass. Don't play with me, Cat. I'm serious. This queen will be on everybody's platform if you do this shit without me now. Now, I don't put the darn bug in your ear. You can come get your girl, or at least darn throw me some darn inspiration money for darn putting the ideal out there. So, like I said, you can employ dozens and hundreds and thousands of people by this, because even the clothes and stuff, the trinkets and all the novelty items, instead of it being made in China, now you can have facilities that you build up and hire African workers to build the darn stuff out, and then they can ship it across to the country. So even when America is watching and still supporting, they can send the stuff out from Africa to America. Now the only thing is, it gets a little bit difficult when you talk about people actually traveling to the game, because it's like, now how are we going to do this with getting people coming to the continent? So we got to have affordable prices. So no more, $12,000 seats, no more $50,000 seats, because people got to pay for plane tickets and stuff. So now we got to take that in regard. But this is now going to attract tourism and bring more attention to the continent of Africa. So now we set up some plane tickets for people to come in, and then we have our American brothers and sisters, come into the continent and, get their seats, and it'll be just like in America. So now they traveling to the continent, you're bringing in tourism, you're employing darn thousands of African people with, the clothes, the novelty items for both the fans to buy in, for the football players to wear, the constructions of the hammocks. You're going to need coaches. You're going to need physical therapists. You're going to need nutritionists. You're going to need all of them. You're going to need your esthetician. We need our skincare stuff intact as well. And when you're posing and doing your magazine shoots. Once again, this is all types of jobs across multiple sectors. You got your beauty, you got your health, you got your fitness, you got your fashion. Honey, that's everybody. Your management, your coaches, football talent. You got over a dozen different jobs, employing tens of thousands of people. But you want the darn get in the good old boys club. So-called. Even though you making more money outside the good old boys club in your predicament now than if you was to get back in there. Because as soon as you get back in there, and it's like, now the steam dies down. Because once you get in there, know this, you ain't going to be kneeling. I can tell you that now. If y'all think they're going to allow him to get back in there and kneel, no. Because that's why it's stopping him right now. Because if he was to promise that he would no longer kneel, this would not be an issue anymore. The only reason really nobody's signing them is because they don't have a guarantee that he won't kneel. As soon as he comes out and flat out say he won't do any kneeling or anything, they'd be willing to probably put him back on. Because once again, it's really about them advertisers at the end of the damn day. That's what it boils down to. It was some racial undertones in it in the beginning, but it's gotten beyond the racism. Now you fucking up the money. And it's like, bitch, I don't give a damn if your ass is white as snow. You done shook up the darn foundation trying to darn highlight some motherfucking racism down to the good old boys club. So that's where Colin Kaepernick fucked up. So morally he's right, but darn in the sense of trying to get back to the people who you darn expose, that don't look right. What I look like darn putting you back here to keep us on guard. When, yeah, we got these shitty darn quarterbacks, but bitch, I'd rather deal with this shitty quarterback and still have these darn sponsors than deal with your ass and always put me on blast at the detriment of the darn sponsorships. Because if our sponsors lose out, then everybody else on the team is looking to darn go to somebody else. And now that puts my darn team in jeopardy. So that's what Colin Kaepernick is dealing with on the marketing aspect. So while people's getting just on the coaches, people ain't getting on these motherfucking sponsors. But at the end of the day, in America, we got to realize there are conservative sponsors just like there's liberal sponsors. And them conservative sponsorships, they ain't about to deal with it with darn Colin. They don't got it with Colin right here. But once again, if you take his ass across the water and come out with some sponsors, Nike can darn travel with him all over the seas. And hell, black people love to spend some coin. And honey, there's a lot, especially in Nigeria, a lot of Nigerian people are labor whores. And that, no offense, but honey, OG is all on that darn Prada, Gucci, Vera Wang type shit. A lot of darn Nigerians like to darn be labels and shit. So it won't be too hard to have that same marketing feel with Nike. You can go over there and darn really pump that shit up. Not saying that's necessarily a good thing. But if you're going to be on a capitalist doggone aspect, that's one way that you can go by doing it. If you want to go out that way. Now, morally, I would say, stick more so with black businesses and really keep this like black power and boost it up, since you want to put yourself in this fist of power type issue. If you really want to go there and be serious about that, then we can set up some marketing strategies of getting black donors and stuff to uplift their businesses and fund the football leagues, or but I'll say open it up to everybody, really, because like I don't think capitalism is too wrong, especially if overall morally you still doing right by your people overall. So I don't believe all capitalism is bad, but I don't believe in having a shuckle and jive and sell out your darn people for it. But instead, motivate your people, empower your people, and darn build up a whole infrastructure for your people. I think that's a lot better than trying to get your personal self into it. Because I thought it supposed to be bigger than you. But every time we hear, and it's the same thing why people don't feel sorry for Monique. Because the way that y'all market it, unfortunately, it keeps surrounding just you. You don't put yourself in a situation where you try to put yourself as a boss and make it more bigger than you. Like, Monique's issues affect a lot of people in dealing with, how they get opportunities for Netflix if you're a black woman. But Monique, unfortunately, even though it is been stated like that, even in her lawsuit, the way she carries herself, it makes it seem like it's just about her. And the same thing is going on with Colin Kaepernick. The way it's being marketed, it seemed like get Colin Kaepernick a job. Go get Colin Kaepernick a job. We no longer hear about the overall racism that is dealing with all the players, the corruption of the NFL all in general. All the thing we hearing is about what's happened solely to Colin Kaepernick. And the attention is just focused on him, but it's not focused on the bigger picture. And if he's really serious about shaking up the foundation, honey, go to a place where the foundation is clean and shake it up, stir it up, and darn gonna make your own foundation. Peep the double entendre, foundation, honey. Beat your darn gone self up to a biggerness than darn gonna be an employee. Once again, instead of darn gone trying to shake the foundation of an old dirty dog, they ain't gonna change their tricks to darn gonna get you a few coins. Shake up the foundation in a new land. Shake them by not having to shake them. That's how you really get them. Instead of having to darn on bed to get into where they's at, go to where your people's at and build the whole infrastructure up. And that would do a lot with combining, African and black Americans together and breaking those stereotypes, because once again, they have a little hand in that division as well, as far as behind the scenes with supporting Donald Trump and the perpetual division between blacks and black Americans. Like, we could do a lot more together than we are divided. So that would be a way on a little bit of Pan-Africanism. I'm not a Pan-Africanist, but I would think my Pan-Africanists would enjoy this little sentiment of going across the aisle and from black Americans to Africans, building up infrastructure on the continent, and black Americans are able to get some coin over there and able to get some notoriety in the motherland, because we sure ain't getting it here. And then we are lifting up the African people who have been overlooked, because over there's some system set up where only a few darn gone Africans get to be at the top. A majority of them living in poverty in certain areas. That's not all areas. We ain't no Donald Trump over here. We ain't darn gonna want to put out no false narratives, because like I said, Nigeria is doing very successful. But places like Congo, it appalls me that Congo has the most richest abundance of metals in the entire darn gone continent of Africa, but it has among the poorest people. How did that shit work? So that's why I said it would behoove darn gone Colin to have the shit set up in Africa, because then you can branch off into different businesses on the side and get Congolese together. You have the money now set up where you can have them getting their own metals and negotiating their own metals out and building up the people overall. That's how you would really darn be on some revolutionary type shit. To have the darn African League, and then it gets to the level of the American equivalent of the NFL, and then you use some of your profits to have the Congo be able to have their own way of getting their own medals, and have them revoke, because the other African countries, see now East Africa, I mean Congo, you done sided with East Africa, but I think you still got a majority of your darn resources tied up. See, if you were to stay with West Africa is now rebelling against France with the darn control. Now, I don't know if it's Belgium, because some of y'all kept telling me that Belgium currently owns the dip in Africa, but I know whoever owns it is not the Congolese people. Because it's a shame that whoever is darn controlling them. But I sound like a dead horse at this darn point. I ain't gonna keep reiterating myself. But like I said, that's what I would do. I go over there and darn gonna shake up the whole foundation. Build my own NFL league, and then help facilitate several other things, such as the Congo get their own resources out of Belgium or France. I think they still got their resources tied in with France, just like Ghana, Senegal, Mali, and several other darn French-speaking darn countries. And yes, I do know that in certain countries they do speak multiple languages, but French is the major language that's universally recognized. So before people say, well, they speak some Kiswahili, but I'm saying what is known as the major national recognized language, and unfortunately it's the colonizers' language, as y'all would say. So I think Colin Kaepernick would do far better in shaking up that foundation over there with majority of people that could look closer to this, as opposed to the white side of his family. So, but I don't think Colin's really serious. We'll see. Maybe he'll come across this video and be inspired. But maybe he will. There's hope, but it's very dim. But I can still throw the ideal out there, just on off some off chance that it might finally spark for him to become a boss instead of trying to still be an employee. But y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. See, I ain't even meant for this darn video to be an hour, especially since I've recorded. See, I call myself putting this in 1080 HP, thinking this shit was going to be just 15 minutes. And I done sat here and talked with y'all for a whole hour. But y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.